Hi, fourth graders. This is week number 6 with our remote learning, and I'm here to start your next module. We're now on module 2, which is going to be all about adding and subtracting whole numbers. And there's going to be some extra steps in this, so it may take us a little while to get through this. I'm thinking I'm just going to have you do the one lesson for this week, because with all of the rounding, you have to estimate first and then do your adding and subtracting, so it does get a little tricky. So we're going to go just a tad bit slower, but I will give you some extra practice instead of giving you 2 videos this week. So we're just going to do the 1 video, but I am going to give you some extra practice that you'll need to do on the Into Math website, on the Ed Your Friend website. So when you first go on, you will see on the left hand side that there will be some assignments that you will need to complete, and that does not take the place of your Waggle. You still have to go into Waggle and do lessons there as well. So I just wanted you to understand why you're only getting 1 math video this week, because there's a lot of extra steps to do with this adding and subtracting. They want you to estimate as well, so there's lots of extra pieces in with this lesson. So we're going to get started. I want you to have your Into Math pages out for Module 2, and you're starting on page 29. I'm going to flip the camera down and we'll get started. So I got us in the right direction. We're Module 2, Addition and Subtraction of Whole Numbers, and we're starting on page 29. So how can you reason in reverse? So the word reverse tells us to go backwards, right? So reasoning in reverse would be to be thinking backwards to help us figure out an answer. So a filmmaker wants to record scenes on the roofs of 3 buildings. She uses a drone with a camera. Suppose the drone starts on the roof of 1 building, flies down to the roof of a 2nd building, and then flies up to land on a 3rd building as shown. How tall is the first building? So the filmmaker starts on the roof of 1 building. So here's where the drone is beginning. This is the first building. So the height of the drone decreases 183 feet. Then it's going to fly up and land on the 3rd building, and it increases 129 feet, and the height of this building is 692 feet, and we want to figure out how high this building is over here. So let's think in reverse. So actually, because we know the height of the 3rd building, we can figure out the height of the 2nd building. If we know that the height of the 3rd building is 692 feet, and when the drone landed on the 2nd building, the drone had to go up, it increased 129 feet. So look at this building is shorter. So what does that tell me I need to do? Am I going to add or am I going to subtract to find the height of the 2nd building? I hope you're thinking of going to subtract. Look, this building is smaller. So I need to take 692 feet and I need to subtract 129 feet. So I'm thinking in reverse. I'm going to go backwards. Okay? Now, remember, when I subtract, I put my bigger number on top and my smaller number underneath. I also need to make sure that I'm always lining up my place values. If you do not line up your place values, your subtraction or your addition is not going to come out correct, because you will be subtracting in the wrong place value. So that's why we need to make sure we are in the right place value. So my 1s, my 10s, and my 100s all line up. Now when I look at this problem, I always start in my 1s place. I always, when I add or subtract, I always begin in the 1s place. And I notice that I have 2 1s minus 9 1s. Well, if I only have 2, I cannot give 9 away. So I need to do something here to help me out. I need to do some regrouping. I need to regroup one of these 10s. So these 10s now, I had 9 10s. Now I'm only going to have 8. And I'm going to have to give one of those 10s here. So 1 10 plus 2 1s would be 12. Now I can do 12 minus 9. 12 minus 9 is 3. Can I do 8 minus 2? Yes, 8 is bigger than 2. So 8 minus 2 is 6. And 6 minus 1 is 5. So now I know the height of the second building. So this building is 563. Now I need to figure out how tall the first building is. Well, when the drone was on the first building, it decreased 183 feet to get down to the second building. So that means if I want to go from the second building to the first building, I'm going to have to increase by 183 feet. So that tells me I'm going to need to add 183 to my 563. Because now I need to get up to the first building. So again, I'm lining up my place values and I start in my ones place. Always, always start on your ones place. So 3 plus 3 equals 6. 6 plus 8 equals 14. I need to regroup a 1, right? Because this is 14 tens. So I keep my 4 tens, but 10 of my tens become 100. 1 plus 5 is 6. 6 plus 1 is 7. So how tall is the first building? It is 746. And then what is my label? Feet. So I had to look at my whole problem, but I couldn't start right from the beginning. I had to start from my last building and go backwards. I went in reverse to figure out how tall the very first building was. And which building is the tallest? We can see it visually, but now that I see the numbers, my first building, which was 746, is the tallest. All right, so now we're going to turn to page 30. And we are going to see if we're ready to do some addition and subtraction. This is kind of getting those brains going, getting our juices flowing, and seeing, are we ready to add and subtract? So complete these problems to review prior concepts and skills you will need for this module. So notice we are going to be adding multiple digits together. So in this first problem, we have 6 plus 2 plus 4. Well, it first wants us to circle two add-ins to add first, and then find the sum. Well, when I'm looking at these numbers, 6, 2, and 4, there's something I know about a 6 and a 4. What do I know if I add 6 plus 4? I know that 6 plus 4 is 10. I'm always going to be looking for groups of 10. Groups of 10 are going to be the easiest way for me to get the rest of my problem. So if I add 6 plus 4, I get 10. And I know that 10 plus 2 is 12. So let's look at number 2. Can I make any 10s with this problem? I can. My 5 plus my 5 are 10. So now it makes it that much easier. If 5 plus 5 is 10, and I know that 3 plus 1 is 4, 10 plus 4 is 14. Or I could do 10 plus 3 is 13, plus 1 is 14. Now looking at number 3, do I see any 10s? Actually, I see two groups of 10. I could do 8 and 2, which is 10, and then 7 and 3 are 10. So 10 plus 10 is 20. So that's the best way to be adding, looking for groups of 10. Looking for numbers that can add up to equal 10. And it makes the rest of your math easier. All right, find the sum or the difference. So I need to be paying attention to what is the symbol. Notice this one has a plus, but this one has a subtraction symbol, a minus. So I need to be looking for the symbol to make sure I'm doing the right process. So for number 4, I need to add. When I'm adding, I'm finding the sum. Sum is addition. When I'm finding the difference, I am subtracting. Subtraction means difference. So 6 plus 5 is 11. I keep 1 in my ones place and I have to regroup 1, 10. 1 plus 1 is 2, plus 3 is 5. So the sum is 51. Now I need to find the difference. I'm using a subtraction symbol, so I'm finding the difference. If I have 4, can I subtract 6 from it? No way. So I've got to regroup one of my 10s. So my 8 tens now become 7 tens, and I bring a 10 over here, so now I have 14. Now can I do 14 minus 6? Yeah, I sure can. 14 minus 6 equals 8. And 7 minus 5 equals 2. So I have 28. Number 6, are we finding the sum or the difference? I hope you said sum. There's a plus sign. 9 plus 7 equals 16. Regroup 110. 6 plus 1 is 7. Plus 2 is 9. So we have 96. Okay, subtract through 3-digit numbers. So we're going to find the difference. So if we're finding the difference, we are subtracting. If I have 1 minus 7, can I do it? Nope. I'm going to have to regroup one of my 10s. So now I have 11. When I regroup, this number always will go down. 11 minus 7 is 4. And then 8 minus nothing is 8. And 5 minus nothing is 5. Can I do 5 minus 6? No. Now look, when I go next door, I don't have any 10s to regroup. So what does that tell me I need to do? Now I need to go to my hundreds to regroup. But when I regroup my hundreds, I'm going to go from 800s to 700s, but I have to bring 10 here. 10 10s here. Now I can regroup my 10 10s to become a 9, and my 5 becomes a 15. Now I can subtract. 15 minus 6 is 9. 9 minus 2 is 7, and 7 minus nothing is 7. All right, and number 9. If I have 0, I can't take 6 away. I look next door. I can't regroup from there either, so we have to go out to our hundreds again. So we got to regroup 1 100, which becomes 10 10s. Then I need to regroup that 10 10s to 9 10s and give a 10 to my 10 1s. So 10 1s minus 6 is 4. 9 minus 4 is 5. And 1 minus nothing is 1. So 154 is my answer. And finally, we've got some marbles in a jar. Selena had 806 marbles in a jar. She gave Taryn 109 marbles from the jar. How many marbles does Selena have left in the jar? So what is the process we need to do to solve this problem? And what word clued us in? Well, we know that Selena she began with 806 marbles. She gave Taryn 109 marbles. So that means she didn't get some, she gave them. That means she's taking them out of the jar and giving them to her friend. So that means it is subtraction, right? How many does she have left in her jar? So we are going to do 806 minus 109. Now, remember, I put my bigger number on top of my smaller number. When I regroup, or when I subtract, if my top number is smaller, my 6 is smaller than my 9, I have to regroup. I cannot regroup from my 0, so I have to go to my hundreds place. So I'm going to change, I'm going to regroup one of my hundreds. So now I'm down to 700s. So that gives me 10 10s. And those 10 10s are now going to go to 9 10s because I'm going to give one group of 10 to my 6. So now I have 16 10s. Or 16 ones, I apologize. 16 ones. So 16 minus 9 is 7. 9 minus 0 is 9, and 7 minus 1 is 6. So she now has 697 marbles in her jar. Okay, so this is going to help us tell us if we are ready to go to proceed to lesson 1 in module 2. So I'm actually going to stop this video here because it's already been 15 minutes and I know the next video is going to be a longer one, and I don't want to make this like a 45-minute long video for you. So I'm going to have you, I'm going to stop this video here and I'm going to do a new video for lesson 1. Okay? So once you are done this video, you are good to go and you can jump right into lesson 1, module 2, lesson 1, or you can do it on another day. Just make sure it's done this week. Alrighty, so I will see you for the next video shortly.